Hi, I'm Matt.
And I'm Dave, and we have created this video on the back of the news that Magento Go is closing.
That's right. So eBay has announced that they're shutting down Magento Go in only a couple of months' time. And there's going to be no more sign-ups and support will end in February 2015. So Dave, what are we going to be covering in this video?
Well, firstly, we're going to be looking at what do you do now if you're currently using Magento Go. We're going to be looking at the benefits of the Magento Community Edition, how easy it is to migrate from Go to Community. We're also going to look at how we would see this as an opportunity to both upgrade and update your system. And finally, Matt, we're going to look at where to get help in this process.
Okay, so moving on, what do I do now? Now, we think it's perfect opportunity for you to upgrade your system and business to a more robust and flexible system while still remaining within the Magento family.
In the official release from Magento on the matter, they said that the Community Edition is great for larger businesses, but that the smaller guys should probably migrate to something like BigCommerce.
Now, this is where we disagree with them. We know that Magento Community Edition works great for small businesses too, not just the larger businesses. And if you're already familiar with Magento, why would you want to spend the time learning a new system? It just doesn't make sense to us.
Also, BigCommerce doesn't have a direct eBay or Amazon integration, whereas Magento Community Edition has the M2 Pro extension, and that does.
So if you've not considered the Magento Community Edition before, it's worth noting a few key points. And number one, Magento Community Edition is available for free.
The only required cost for Magento Community Edition is that of decent Magento web hosting. And this is probably a little different from Magento Go because that was a hosted solution run by Magento, whereas Community Edition, that's self-hosted.
So if you're in the United States, we're talking about $20. If you're in the United Kingdom, then we're talking about £17 per month. So it's probably going to be cheaper, if not very similar to what you were paying for Magento Go.
It's also worth noting that Magento Go and Magento Community Edition have a very similar interface and they work in very much the same way. However, it is worth noting that Magento Community Edition is running a much newer version than Magento Go was.
Magento Community Edition is open source, so unlike Magento Go where you only had a handful of extensions available, you have access to Magento Connect, and there are literally thousands of extensions available from courier integrations to account packages.
And also, Matt, from an added security point, it's incredibly unlikely that Magento Community Edition is going to get culled like Magento Go has been.
Yeah, let's think about this for a few moments. Magento Enterprise is based upon Magento Community, and that's not likely to happen.
Exactly. I mean, Magento Go, in my opinion, was focused at nano businesses. Magento Community is perfect for small, medium, and large businesses. And if you're a small business that's wanting to grow, the Magento Community was always the natural choice. But from Magento's point of view, Magento Community is almost like the stepping stones for them to get you to Magento Enterprise.
And crucially, you don't need a degree in Nerd to use Magento, and we have free video tutorials to get you started.
So Matt, the question is, how easy is it to migrate from Magento Go to Magento Community?
The reality is that it's a lot easier than coming from another software product to Magento Community Edition because you already know Magento. It's just got a slightly different interface. Now, there are a couple of key areas which you need to be concerned and be aware of. Number one, inventory. This is relatively straightforward with an export and import from your current Magento Go system. There is a little red cross here because you will need to recreate your attributes and attribute sets within your new Magento Community Edition. Images can be imported using the free Magmi tool, so unlike Magento Go where you have to use the data flow tool which can be slow on larger imports, you can use the free tool called Magmi, which is lightning fast.
Another point is that if you have a website design currently on your Magento Go platform, then this can be ported across much more easily than a whole new redesign could be, and it'll be much cheaper too, because the bulk of the design piece has already been done.
Yeah, so when you had your Magento Go website designed, that could have been quite costly with a third-party company. The reality is that you've already got the theme. So if you require a new company to do the design for you, you're not actually paying for the design because you've already got that in place. What you need for that to happen is for that theme or that design to be ported to Magento Community Edition. And because they're not doing the design work, they're only doing the development work, that's going to work out much more cheaper for you at the end of the day.
And finally, Matt, we have orders. Now, it would certainly be our recommendation that you can take your orders from your Magento Go system and export them into an external spreadsheet, for example, into Excel, and keep them for your own records.
And the reason behind that is that you don't need to import them into a new system, and you're not going to bloat out your fresh installation of Magento Community Edition with hundreds or thousands of orders, which you could perfectly do without, but you still have access to them, for example, in Excel, Google Docs, or your own third-party system.
As we mentioned right back at the beginning, we think this is the perfect time for you to upgrade and update your system.
The news today may be saddening to hear, but as Dave mentioned, we think it's a perfect time for you to upgrade and update your systems, and it would be a perfect time for you to build a system that works how you want it to work. You can upgrade your website to a responsive theme if you didn't have one already, and you can go multi-channel by installing the M2E Pro extension, which allows you to sell onto eBay, Amazon, and Rakuten too.
So like we mentioned previously, some people will criticize Magento Community as being too complicated for smaller businesses, and we can give you our word that this is just not the case. It doesn't have to be that way.
If you're willing to invest some time into your business, then you can have the system that you want for you and your business. And you can have access to the non-nerd video tutorials where we show you how to get set up with Magento, and we assume absolutely nothing. And if you can find us at understandinge.com/Magento-tutorials.
As always, if you have any questions about this, like I said, we know it could be a bit of a shock if you have, you're using Magento Go and you now need to find an alternative. Let us know, get in touch, and we will do our best to help out wherever we can.
Indeed. And also remember, a degree in nerd is not required, and we'll see you there. Matt
and Dave.